degree black belt in Taekwondo. So I want to talk about the meaning of Taekwondo. What is the meaning of Taekwondo? So if we define the words, Tae, which means strike with the foot, Kwan, strike with the hand, Do, way of life, discipline, the mental aspect of our martial art. So with these three aspects, we were able to make a martial art where it was primarily used for self-defense. And it still is used for self-defense, but it's a lot more than just self-defense. It has many values in it, such as respect, learning about perseverance, to really make us better members in society and to really bring out the best in each person. So it's a lot more than just a physical sport. Now, where is Taekwondo from? Taekwondo is from Korea. So it's a Korean martial art over 2,000 years old. So it's been around for a very long time. And right now it is actually the most practiced martial art. Every country in the world practices Taekwondo. Over 200 territories, over 200 countries practice Taekwondo. You can go anywhere in the world, and I promise you, you will find a Taekwondo school there. Or you will find a black belt, you will find a master there. And because of that, it's become so popular. Because of that, many people know about it. And Taekwondo really has a good effect on all communities, no matter if it's in this country or in other continents around the world. Now, in Taekwondo, there is a belt system. So what is the ranking system? Every martial art, we always hear black belt, black belt, black belt. But it's not just about black belt. You know, it's about the journey to make it to black belt. You have to go through your different belt systems. Sabanan, would you like to go through the belt systems?
Yes, sir, thank you. So historically and traditionally, as you progress in rank, your belt color gets darker. So obviously, who knows what's the first belt you start with? Yell it out. White, thank you. Yes, you start with white belt. After that, you progress to yellow. After yellow comes orange, green, blue, purple, red, brown. And then we have one that's red and black, which is called Poon belt. It's a Korean word for meaning like a junior black belt, a child black belt. After that, in our school at least, we have a few extra belts to make sure that our students are really ready before we promote them to that full black belt. So we have what we call deputy black belt or conditional black with a little yellow stripe through it. And then you get to black belt. You don't just get to black belt and that's it. When you hit black belt, in our school we define that as really the beginning of your journey there. When you get to black belt, that's where the work really starts. There are how many black belts in Taekwondo? Who knows? Who wants it? 9! Thank you, ma'am. Yes, there are 9 black belts in Taekwondo. We have a 9th degree black belt in the crowd right now, if you can find him. He's sitting right over there. That is Grandmaster White Park. He's a 9th degree black belt. You say yes, sir. And so that's how our belt system works. Some other martial arts, even some other Taekwondo schools, they'll take a few out, they'll add a few depending on their preference, how ready they want their students to be, how much training they want them to go through. But that's the one that we use as the traditional one as well. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, you know, worldwide, once you become black belt, you become registered with Kukiwon. In Korea, there is an organization called Kukiwon. And they're the ones that issue your black belt, give you like a license. So if you're a black belt here with Kukiwon, you're a black belt anywhere else in the world, because that's the official certification. Now, what are you learning throughout your journey from white belt to yellow belt, all the way to black belt? There are many different themes of Taekwondo. There are many lessons of Taekwondo. We have what we call the 5 tenets of Taekwondo. There are 5 different characteristics that we try and learn throughout our journey. The first one is going to be courtesy. We learn courtesy throughout Taekwondo, being nice to each other. The second one is going to be integrity. We want to have good integrity. These are things that you're not going to learn at one moment. You learn it throughout the journey. The third one is perseverance. Never give up. Not everything is easy, but we don't give up. And that's what we learn in Taekwondo, perseverance. Self-control. You have to have self-control. Without self-control, especially now, you know, so many distractions with social media, self-control, Taekwondo really helps with that. Not just on the mat, not just in the Taekwondo school, everywhere. So that's our self-control. And then the fifth one is going to be indomitable spirit. You want to maintain indomitable spirit. Those are the 5 tenets of Taekwondo. We also have the 5 aims to achieve. So what are the 5 aims to achieve? There is some overlap. The first one is going to be respect. You want to be respectful. When you're a martial artist, you want to show respect. And you want to give respect. More important, you want to give respect. The second one is going to be humility. You want to be humble. And then you have perseverance. Self-control is fourth. And then the last one, very important, honesty. Honesty. So all these characteristics you see here, they kind of go together, right? You can't have respect without being honest. You can't have perseverance without having self-control. So these are things that you don't learn all at white belt, you learn it throughout your journey of becoming a black belt. And I would even say that once you become a black belt, that's when you really, really get to learn about these and incorporate it to other aspects. Not just in the Taekwondo school, but outside of the Taekwondo school. Now there are three aspects of Taekwondo. So what is Taekwondo, right? What is it? We're talking about Taekwondo, but what is it? We said striking with the foot, striking with the hand, and then the discipline. In Taekwondo, there are 3 domains. There is sparring. Sparring. Master, would you like to come here? What is sparring?
Sparring is when the classic idea you have of Taekwondo when 2 people are fighting each other. A lot of misconception that some people have is that it's for hurting somebody else, it's to make yourself better, to make yourself seem big and tough. It's really to protect yourself, mostly is what we teach, but sparring is just a game for points, right? And I'm going to talk about a little bit how that point system works. So, the lowest amount of points you can get with 1 strike is a 1 point. Anybody know what is worth 1 point in sparring? You take a wild guess. The most simple thing. A punch, yes, a punch like this. Like that, punch. 2 points in sparring. 2 points is the next, she knows all of them. 2 points is a kick, like this. Next is 3 points. What's 3 points? Kick to here, that's right, to here. Kick all the way up to the head, that's right. After 3 points, we have 4 points. It only goes up to 5, don't worry. 4 points, we went body, we went kick to the body, we went kick to the head. Now 4 points, we're gonna go back down to the body, a spinning kick to the body like that. 5 points, you can take a wild guess. What would be 5 points? Spinning kick to where? The head, right. I'm not gonna do it, I'll save that for our demonstration for later. You're welcome. Okay, that's the scoring system for sparring. But again, the scoring systems are always changing, the rules are always changing. It could be different next month, it could be different again 3 months from then. They're always working to better the system, to make the sport even more respectable, more of a fun game for the athletes, and more of a legitimate kind of system for sport. Really. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. So we talked about sparring. What else is there in Taekwondo? There is forms. So in Korean, forms is called pumse. Pumse is going to be combinations of movements that are placed in a pattern, and as you perform them, you try and do them with correct accuracy, with strength, with balance. So this one, you're not really going against anyone, you're not hitting anyone, but you're performing these movements in a specific pattern with the intent of trying to do with the best technique possible. So an example would be like a block. Block first, and then what comes next? After blocking someone, you might want to strike them. So it's a combination of patterns that occurs in pumse. And like in sparring, there's also competition for pumse. There's world competitions for pumse, and we're going to talk about later, but pumse is also going to be in the Olympics in the future. So that's very exciting. So we talked about sparring, we talked about pumse. What else? What's the third thing? When we think about Taekwondo, what do you guys see? Do you guys see any, what is that? Board breaking, right? You got a piece of wood and we smash it. So the purpose of board breaking is to work on our skills, work on our kicking techniques, work on our strikes, but it's also symbolic. You know, we're not just breaking a piece of board, we're really thinking about what are my goals for the next belt? What are my goals from here? Or what are my bad habits that I want to break? Ooh, I really gotta wake up earlier in the morning to start my day. Let me do that. Break the board. It makes me feel refreshed. So board breaking is a symbolic thing as well. Okay, so we talked about the three aspects. Let's go back to sparring. Sparring is an Olympic sport. That's in the Olympics. So we have the Olympics happening this month in France. We have 4 athletes competing from the United States. Did you know the United States is pretty good in the Olympics when it comes to Taekwondo? Almost every Olympics, United States is going to get a medal in Taekwondo. So it's exciting to see how many of our athletes come home with the gold in Taekwondo. Sparring in the Olympics, it started back in 1988 in the Korean Olympics as a demonstration sport. The Olympic Committee watched Taekwondo, they said, wow, this looks like something we can permanently put as an official sport in the Olympics. A few years later, right here in New York City, 1993, the World Taekwondo Championships happened in Madison Square Garden, and the host for that tournament was our Grandmaster Y.H. Park. The reason why that tournament was so important is because the Olympic Committee watched the tournament. They were there, here in New York City, to watch the World Taekwondo Sparring Championships, and they observed it, they saw, they said, wow, yes, we have to put Taekwondo in the Olympics. We must put it. And then year 2000, Olympics, Australia, it was the first year Taekwondo being officially an Olympic sport. Now, in 2028, the next Olympics is going to be here in the United States, in LA. So Poomsae is, for the first time, is going to be there in the Olympics as a demonstration sport. So that's going to be very exciting. We're going to get Poomsae in the Olympics as well. Maybe one day we will see board breaking. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Taekwondo now, so it's in the Olympics, right? But it's become so popular. Remember, we spoke about how it's everywhere in the world. You can see it in social media as well now. You know, everyone knows the show America's Got Talent. There was one of the best Taekwondo teams competed in America's Got Talent. And many Taekwondo teams also are making music videos to lots of K-pop music. So Taekwondo, you see it almost everywhere now. So I think Taekwondo is pretty exciting, right? It seems like it's pretty exciting. I want to teach you guys some Taekwondo. Who wants to go on stage? Anyone? Anyone can come up on stage. Come up. Come up. Whoever wants to try some Taekwondo, come up on stage.